Neeraj Ghaywan, welcome to Toronto. How does it feel to be here for the first time?
That too on the 50th anniversary. Can't be more special than that. Because I'm like, to be here at the 50th anniversary with my film, I'm feeling quite elated.
Yeah. And I was mentioning to you that getting your film into TIFF, right? It's a very prestigious film festival, and this is the North American premiere. So how are you feeling? A little nervous? How does it feel as a director just to know you've been accepted in this film festival?
Honestly, I'm deeply humbled. After Cannes, I'm coming here to Toronto. It's one hasn't dreamt of these days, you know, when I started out, and to reach here, and that too with Mr. Scorsese's name attached to your film. It is something I think I'm sort of living vicariously the dream of every filmmaker. I feel, and I feel very privileged about it, and I've worked very hard towards it. So yeah, it's a great experience to be here and to be among the best festivals in the world. But more than me, I think it's about what the film is trying to say, it reaching it to such a large audience. For me, that is more fulfilling an experience. Like, for instance, back in Cannes, there was this person who walked up to me and he broke down and he said it reminded him of his own experiences of the liberation of Ireland with UK. So everybody takes home what they feel. So I think that to see people making personal connections with the film, that is way more fulfilling than anything, I feel.
Absolutely. Okay, so take us back. Where did this idea for the movie come to you?
Well, it came from this New York Times piece. It was written by Basharat Peer, the story of bringing Amrit home. It was a true story. The film is based on a true story. When I read the piece, it broke something inside of me and also gave me an avenue to speak a lot of things that I've been wanting to talk about. Firstly, that you see a lot of rural India is getting obsolete in Hindi cinema. Secondly, whenever you speak of marginalized identities around the world, be it racial minorities or religious minorities or ethnic and caste or even sexual minorities and migrants even, we always speak of them in numbers. I think it's more to assuage our urban guilt. We express hollow sympathy without accountability. You just talk about it in some social circle and you feel good about it, but nothing happens. So this apathy is what was pushing me as well. Like, what if we speak from their point of view, what we humanize them? We pick two people and find their origin story. Where did they come from? What happened? What were their dreams? And what did they leave behind? And what did they move towards? That was very fascinating to go back to. And also, in a way, it was also a way for me to go back to my childhood, go back to my teenage, and to derive a lot from my own patriarchal household that I was brought in, a Dalit household. And from there, I put out a lot of my own personal experiences about the patriarchy that I went through, but also the shame of hiding for many years, what it does to you, what damage it does to you, to your confidence, to put out my own shame. So it was personally quite cathartic. So it was an accumulation of so many intentions that the film was born out of.
So as you were directing, was there one scene in the film in particular that really connected with you, or to this time still you feel you look back at that and go, that was a really special time?
Personal connection, I would say there was a scene which is a spoiler, which I can't speak much about, but there's a scene where there's a questioning of the identity of the last name and how a lot of people do tend to gauge your identity via your last name. That happens a lot in India, and that kind of scrutiny I've also gone through, and how you try to come up with names. And like, for instance, on my passport still my name is Kumar, to hide away from the shame of, like, will some person clock my identity, and like, will my friends stop being friends with me? Like, my sisters had the same wedding what is shown in the film, but that would also make me exposed to, I was hiding, right? And I'd be known, so I couldn't even invite my friends over. So these are the personal things that, so that's why there's that one scene where Chandan is questioned by this officer, and the scrutiny behind the name is very intrinsically Indian, and also very, very gut wrenching.
And actually, it's a great point you make there. I think that's something that we still deal with, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people always want to know
Yeah.
how to connect with you. So let's talk about now casting. You could have picked anyone
Right.
to be in these roles, right? And I think especially when it's based on a true story,
Right.
it puts even more pressure.
Yeah.
It's like, do you take a new face? Do you take someone who has experience that people will
Yeah.
recognize? So talk to us a little briefly about the decision about casting.
There's a dilemma that a lot of us independent filmmakers, independent-minded, there's no independent cinema in India anymore, sadly, go through, is that if you go that route, what happens is that you go to an A-list festival, a hall full of people, you get a standing ovation, you come back and that's all about it. But the people that I'm intending for them to watch, that is the bigger one, for me. And hence I wanted it to be have a little more mainstream reach. And if these actors can bring that, if this studio can bring that, if Karan can bring that, why not? And also, my primary intent is that people who will come with genuine empathy and genuine inquiry. And all of these people, whoever was on this film, has come from that space of understanding that the story that we are about to try to tell is beyond us, is bigger than making this film. So when people come with that genuine empathy, that's when they'll go the distance. So I feel eventually, if they succumb to the character fully and make it their own, that's what is required.
Well, we're really excited that the Toronto audience here will get to see it this week, and of course the North American premiere.
I am so excited and nervous at the same time. It's like, I believe it's some 1700 screener.
Are you nervous because you had such a great reception at Cannes?
Yeah.
So now does it kind of like the bar's been set up high, and is that why, or are you just always nervous?
It's just nervous, and also because, the screening at Cannes, I believe it had the longest standing ovation, 10 minutes and whatever. But apart from the ovation, what moved me genuinely, and I broke down as well, was to see the cumulative experience of people. Cannes is an audience where it is not particularly Indian. And to see so many people relate with it so hard and like crying, and some people had really visceral reactions. Like one lady, she broke down, she fell down crying. So a lot of these reactions happened. And now in Toronto, like I know that there's a lot of Indian audience here, there's a lot of Desi audience here. And I'm very, very nervous because it's a public screening first time, and it's like out of India, and like yet it's very, very Indian screening, and yeah, there are jitters.
Well, we'll find out this week what the reception is like. As I wind up this interview, the last question I have for you is, what do you hope the public here takes away after watching the movie?
Empathy.
Empathy?
The world needs it right about now, the way it's headed. We could do with, there'll be people who you differ with, who don't look like you, don't talk like you, whose opinions differ from yours. Instead of inculcating judgment and hate and animosity, maybe we should just sit down next to each other and talk about it. Empathy is the key, I feel. That's the whole purpose of this film.
Well, like I said, we're very excited to see your film here. Thank you for bringing it here. All the best to you, and we'll talk to you after the premiere.
Thank you for having me over.